Well, I'm having a problem with bandits here at the homestead, and we're gonna take care of them like it's 1847. Colt Walker. Well, the year was 1847. Sam Colt, the guy who made the guns, was completely bankrupt. Already shut down his shop. Just so happens, down here in Texas, the Mexicans were whooping our butts. And the Comanches, well, they were completely out of control. So a guy named Samuel Walker wrote a letter to Samuel Colt and said, dude, we've got to have something. We've got to have a bigger gun, one big enough to knock down a horse. We're going to carry him on our horse. He said, I want it to hold 60 grains of powder, which is a rifle charge. And I needed it to hold an extra shot. His previous guns only held 5 shots. That one was going to hold 6. Let me introduce you to the gun of Texas. And it's named the Colt Walker. We're going to take it hunting. But first, let's take some shots here. I've got it fully loaded with a .457 round ball, 60 grains of 3F black powder. It's gonna be hot. And if you look right there, I've got a glass bottle there. Let's back up here a little ways and see if we can hit it. Hearing protection on, this thing is gonna be loud. All right, first ever shot with this is the official gun of Texas, by the way. Holy smokes. Well, I nailed it. The air, man, I love that smell. The smell of burning black powder. I'm gonna take a few more shots here. See if I can find something else to shoot at. Need to see how it's grouping on paper before we take it hunting, because accuracy is crucial. All right, I got us another target here. Historically, these guns shoot a foot or two high, so I'm actually probably gonna grind down the notch here and try and get it dialed in for us. But another fact about these, only 1,100 of them were ever made. 1,000 of them went straight to the military to go to combat. But over a third of those were sent back because the cylinders exploded. Their metals back then were quite inferior. Hopefully this one doesn't explode, but I don't think it will. Kind of hard to see where you're hitting because of the puff of smoke that comes out with this thing. This is a hefty gun. Probably weighs about as much as a rifle. Another cool thing, this is the gun Gus carried in Lonesome Dove. Barely to the right of that bullseye there. Same spot. That was 6 shots. You can see that last shot there was right above the bullseye. We're dialed in up here close. Now we just got to get an animal close enough. And we're gonna send a .457 round ball right through his lungs. I also have a mold coming for this for the Dragoon bullet, which gets it up to quite a bit more energy. Also, Gus carried in Lonesome Dove. He had a conversion cylinder on his to convert it to .45 Colt, which a lot of guys did later on. And I actually got one of those too, so we're gonna convert this to where I can shoot just a standard .45 Colt cartridge, which will save us quite a bit on reloading time. But so far, man, this thing is sweet. I think I'm already in love. All right, I swapped out the cylinders here. This is the .45 Colt cylinder. Got us a box of, these are the hottest .45 Colt cowboy loads I could find. These are smokeless powder. And I got us a new target. Let's see if we can hit this thing. .45 Colt's always been one of my favorite cartridges. I've harvested quite a few whitetail with one of these. This one's probably running a little over 400 foot-pounds of energy, which about 9mm power, maybe a little over with modern day standards, but plenty adequate for deer. You just got to be close, pick your shots. All right, let's get this loaded up. So I've still got to cut a notch in the side of the gun here so I can load the bullets without having to break it open. Gotta bust it open to load it. 6 shots, .45 Colt. Probably tonight I'm gonna do the cutting on the cylinder. I fitted these parts to the gun myself. I did all the gunsmithing work these last few nights. All right, we're loaded up with 6 rounds of 45 Colt. I got that whipped cream can out there. Let's see if we can hit it. Nailed it first try. I'm gonna back it up here and see if we can shoot a little bit farther. Man, this thing is sweet. Got a nice shoulder holster for it. First I had a pants holster and it was too heavy, but I think I can carry it all around the ranch here just like this. It's pretty handy. And between this and a nice Bowie knife, we're well armed. Looks like I hit right at the top of that bottle, which is about right. These guns shoot about that high. Let's back it up here ways. All right, back here closer to 30 yards. Let's see how we can do. Another thing about the walkers is with hot loads, the loading lever always falls there, but got some modifications I'm gonna do to it. Should help cut down on that, but first 12 shots with the Colt walker. I'm gonna adjust these sights before we head out hunting. There's not really a rear sight on it. You use this notch here. And I've just gotta grind that notch a little deeper, but got this powder measure here where it does exactly 60 grains of powder. Keep in mind, this is not a firearm. They actually ship this straight to your door in my state. Well, I think most states actually. If you could imagine, doing this on horseback would be quite a chore, especially while galloping. There's a 4.57 round ball. And if you'll notice, when I cinch down on this here, it makes a perfect little lead ring like that there. That's how you know you got a good fit, and it'll help avoid the chain fires that these guns are kind of famous for, which could potentially make it explode. Could not imagine doing this while galloping on a horse being chased by Indians. That would suck. All right. All the cylinders are loaded up here. Now we've got to put the caps on. Remington number 10 caps. And since I filmed last, I've went ahead and changed these nipples out here to stainless steel, some nice nipples. And I also went ahead and I cut this notch deeper. So we're about to shoot this, and we're gonna see if it's hitting a little bit better now. It always scares me putting these caps on because I read about Elmer Keith blowing his thumbnail off while putting these on. It's one thing that makes black powder kind of a pain, and why I think it didn't stay a thing is you've got to clean these things pretty much after every time you shoot them, or they'll rust up and gum up. You can probably only run about 3 cylinders through this gun before it'll start jamming up from the crud of the black powder. Alright, we are loaded. All the caps on, all the chambers filled. Now, we gotta get ear protection on. We did some damage to that center block there. Alright guys, I've been working on this thing for a few days now. I've successfully done the cartridge conversion. I had to file on this thing for days, and then I had to re-blue it, but it's a fine looking gun now that I can shoot cartridges out of, and I don't have to worry about reloading those black powder rounds. So let's see how it shoots with this new cylinder on it, and I filed down the sight some, so we should be a lot closer to being sighted in now. Got a box over there and about deer hunting range. Now where that bullet went, I have no idea. All right, I moved it closer. It's right there now. I honestly think it's still shooting high. I'm gonna have to keep dremeling. Let's aim below the box here, see where it goes. Yep. I aimed below that box and it still shot that high above the bullseye. Yep, so I'm gonna keep dremeling. And I had to build this ejection rod here to eject the bullets. I do reckon that's my favorite scene on Lonesome Dove. Whenever Gus and Lori are sitting in the river and they see Blue Duck coming from a couple miles away, and he goes, "Hey Lori, can you go fetch me my pistol?" And she goes, "Gus, you don't want your rifle?" And he goes, "No, I've shot many a bandits with just my pistol." So tonight, we're going after some bandits with the Colt Walker. Keeping my ranches fed, I probably spend close to $20,000-ish a year just on feed. And at least a couple thousand of that goes to loss from raccoons stealing my feed. So tonight, we're gonna see if we can put a dent in them. Now I've shot this thing a few more times. It's still shooting high, but I should be able to hit a raccoon if we can get them close. So every night right after dark, I've been seeing raccoons everywhere, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to find at least one to shoot at tonight. Man, it is perfectly silent out here this afternoon. So, raccoons mostly like to hang out around water. I'm thinking we're gonna go down here and set in the deer blind near the water. That should be our best chance at getting a shot. Raccoons are almost always nocturnal. If you see one in the daytime, usually something's wrong with it. So, got my trusty flashlight here. We'll probably have to use it. Sitting up here glassing on the hill, looking for a different kind of bandit, a border bandit. I'd have to call Border Patrol for backup on those, but I've been seeing a lot of Border Patrol activity in the area, and they told me to be on the lookout. I don't think our borders are really as secure as they make it out that they are, because people are still coming across. You just don't hear about it on the news. There's a lot of things we could run across out here, but with this Colt Walker, I do not feel like I'm undergunned whatsoever. Mountain lions, bears, rattlesnakes. You never know what you're gonna see out here. Heck, we could even have a herd of all-dad sheep come in, and I would take the shot on one with this. No problem if he'll get in under 25 yards. I'd feel pretty confident. Oh, right there, there's something. Right there. That was a big porcupine, but I think we're gonna let him be. I don't take every animal I come across out here. We let most of them go. It's his lucky day. Tomorrow, it might not be. And that's what we're looking for right there. It's the track of a pretty nice raccoon. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them here. All right, I made it down here to this deer blind. Still got maybe 20 minutes before dark, but pretty sure we'll have some raccoons come in after dark. There's a huge pack of coyotes howling right beside me. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I think I'm gonna head back to the cabin. But we have a 2-mile walk in the dark. So who knows what we're gonna come across on the way back. I always thought I would outgrow being scared of the dark. I didn't. This helps though. Gotta love a random set of eyes in the dark. That was a long walk back. We'll give it another shot tomorrow night. Guys, I had just laid down in bed for maybe 5 minutes. I just heard a Barbary sheep outside, about to step outside the front of the cabin and see if we can get a shot. Yes! We went chasing bandits and ended up with a trophy Aoudad. Guys, I know I got him. I hit him at least 4 out of those 5 shots as he was running. That first one was a good hit. He was probably going to go down after that first one, but I gave him several more there, and we nailed him. Yes. Oh, Colt Walker. Just made us dinner. Actually, breakfast. The sun will be up here in maybe an hour or so, and I'll wait till the sun's up and I'll go show y'all what he looks like. Yes, but I have no doubt he's laying at the end of that blood trail. Those bullets were walloping him. Oh, I'm so excited. I am shaking. And Aoudad around here is a great trophy with a rifle. And to be able to do it with this, that's something else. Let's do a quick reload before we go track him. One, skip one. Gotta leave one empty under the chamber, because if you drop this, it would go off. What are the freaking chances of that, guys? Hunt all night, set in a blind 2 miles away. I make it back, I lay down in bed for 5 minutes, and then Aoudad walks right into my front yard. And then to be able to get him with a Colt Walker pistol, a 45 Colt, about 400 foot-pounds of energy. Most of the outfitters around here require a 300 Win Mag minimum to hunt those, so this 45 Colt ain't even close to a 300 Win Mag. I've got no doubt it did the job. 4 of those through the mid section of his body. He's not gonna go far. As he left the end of my light there, I could already see him starting to stumble, so just gonna give it a couple more hours till the sun comes up, and then we're gonna go check him out. All right, the sun's up. I dozed off for a little while, so we got plenty of filming light. Let's go see if we can find him. All right, that last moment I shot, he was standing right there. See his track. Golly. I can't show it, but a blind man could follow this blood trail, I promise. He's not gonna be far. There he is. Man, that's a good one right there. Man, look at that. I'm not much of a trophy hunter, but to me, this is an awesome trophy. They do get a little bit bigger than this, but I wouldn't be any happier with a bigger one. Yes. There's a good chance that this is the only Aoudad ever harvested with a Colt Walker in history. These things are native to the mountains of northern Africa. And to have ended up out here in West Texas, wow, they're roaming everywhere now. Worried about getting enough meat out here to make it through the winter, but a couple more of these and we ought to make it just fine. Man, I love this gun. It's pretty handy. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.